Yo guys, Schwab Digital just dropped one of the most important plugins, I think, in the new era, which is this plugin called Highfoul. So MixBusTV put me onto this. I want to credit MixBusTV for even making me aware of this plugin. And man, so let me just hit play. So here's before the plugin. This is an AI sample, by the way.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting.
Let me run it back just so you guys can really hear. Here's before.
Hard work.
Let's run all the way back. All right, here's before.
The marathon continues.
Here's after.
Yup.
It just, not only does it smooth the track, it adds the error back into the track. So this is crazy. I just started using this correctly. So basically what I understand this is doing is getting rid of the harshness of a song, as MixBusTV put it. It gets rid of this harshness. Let's start a new project just so you guys fully understand. So one thing about AI samples, especially from Suno, is sometimes they can be very airy and sometimes harsh. So they've, version 5 is really good, but sometimes it can still have this air type of sound to it. So I'll just play a couple samples just so you guys get an idea. These are just random samples from Suno. All right, so let's just drag random samples in, and we're gonna add this plugin Highfoul to each one of these. All right, so here we have a bunch of tracks. First, I'm gonna start with my beat that I created with an AI sample, and we're gonna run it through the Highfoul plugin just to show you guys like how powerful this plugin is. Again, it doesn't just take care of the high frequencies and the resonances. It does some other magic to the high frequencies that it boosts it back without it even sounding harsh at all. So I didn't even realize this trim knob did that much. So here's before.
The marathon continues.
You could hit these solo buttons to pick a specific frequency range. So usually around 3K is when we get that harshness.
The marathon continues.
And I think, it has a separate band for the 3K. So that's interesting. I just noticed this. So this band takes care of, there's two bands. You have one for the high frequencies and another for like the high mids. So you get to check each end of the filter.
The marathon continues.
So all I do is I pull this down until the sound actually triggers the effect.
The marathon continues.
Now, some elements that do get bright, vocals, snares, and AI samples get really bright. So let's just let this allow it to pull
the
that
marathon
down.
Continues.
So I assume it's attenuating the signal here. And we can hear what it's taking out.
Yup.
So it's just taking away the harsh part of each sound. It's not taking away the transient, taking away the harsh part of the sound.
Hard work, dedication.
Let's A/B this to see if it really makes a difference just off of that one move.
The marathon continues. Yup.
Here's with it on. So make us keep turning this on and off.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting.
Okay, so it definitely dulls it down, which is a good thing for this record. But what I did not know is if you mess with the trim knob, it actually boosts the highs back. Watch
Hard
this.
work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience.
See how it brings back the bite in the vocal?
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no.
Here's before.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation.
Here's after.
I had patience,
And then you could use a parallel limiter to basically add more sustain to the things that we're transforming, I assume. So it's not as like pointy.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my.
Now I don't know if this parallel limiter is only for this if we boost it in, because I'm not hearing a difference. But it might be so small that I can't. But I'm not sure if that's for this or what. And I think this boosts this range. So from, 1K to 4K, I think this is like a boost knob.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience,
So it brings the vocal back after it does what it does. It brings the vocal back. So here's before.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience,
Here's after.
had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now nigga blue like detonation. Look.
So I don't know what this side does, but I can hear that it's definitely boosting some kind of frequency with this knob, this fader. This knob, I don't know exactly what it's targeting, but it doesn't matter. I just...
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience,
It all
had
sounds good.
patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now nigga
This even makes the track bigger than it originally was. So I wanted to show you guys this AI stuff because AI samples are known to have this very bright sound sometimes. So here's another AI sample. Let's run it through. So this plugin literally came out at the perfect time because this solves such a huge problem, which is we'll get these samples, but they sound super bright. So here's with it off. So you hear this like tss in the background. In that case, it made it more exaggerated. Let's pull our filter down. So let's see if this works for this sample. Might be overkill for the sample. We can also target like the mono signal, the mid signal, or the stereo signal, I believe. Let's pull this range down. I forgot we have two ranges. I keep forgetting we have two ranges here. So from like 5K to 8K is where this harshness lives. This one's tough because it's hard to pinpoint an exact area. I think around here. All right, so listen to those cymbals, or it goes like that. All right, so now we're going to A-B this. Here's before. Here's after. Before. So it just controls those highs, and it's a very subtle on that track, but it definitely has a result in smoothing the high end to where it's not aggressive. Let's use a full track here. So our goal is to keep the high frequency content there without it being harsh. All right, so here's before. Here's after. Let me see if I can pinpoint for you guys the frequency I'm hearing. It's definitely around 9K, so I would assume 4.5K up to 9K is where that frequency is really harsh. So that crash cymbal was a perfect example. Let's run that back. All right, so this area would normally be super bright. So as you can hear before, it's very bright. And that's that borderline harshness. And then after the plugin, so here we can actually hear the frequencies are taken out. So if you're not sure if you're catching the cymbal, you could solo it and then hear what it's actually pulling away. All right, so it definitely changes the audio. All right, so here's before. That sharp. And this just tames the entire area. Again, this threshold you guys can kind of eyeball. And then you can hear the difference with these headphones right here. So I know for sure it's grasping that crash. And it just tames it. It adds that, I'll say realism to the AI samples, because that's usually what's missing is a lack of sonic fidelity, I'll say. All right, let's keep running through these samples. So pretty much with the same setting, you guys can get a really nice sound. So I would save this as a preset and just kind of, let's save it as like all around use, because it's, it works on everything pretty much. So I guess the hard way to articulate this is the AI samples create transient materials that are naturally super high frequencies, and they get very dense with those high frequencies and very resonant, and it can become piercing. And I think they haven't mastered balancing the high frequencies of a sample just yet. Now, this will be really useful for AI vocal samples when you guys hear an airy style vocal.
Bring it down, little short, bring it down, little short, bring it down, little. Who's got the feeling? Got the bass to the
See, I was like, bass.
Bring it,
super, it's just a lot of energy. So it takes those like artifacty noise type sounds out. Let's do before and after. Here's before.
Who's got the feeling? Got the bass to the Who's got the feeling? Got the bass. Bring it down, little short. Bring it down, little short.
See how the one thing that stands out is that like on the top of the sample, and it's kind of hard to listen to almost. So here's after.
Who's got the feeling? Got the bass to the Who's got the feeling? Got the bass. Bring it down, little short. Bring it down, little short. Bring it down, little. Who's got the feeling? Got the bass to the Who's got the feeling? Got the bass. Bring it down, little short. Bring it down, little short. Bring it down, little. Who's got the feeling?
And remember, we have that trim knob to always add that high frequency back in the case that we took out too much. So Let's go to a new sample. The only thing I'm really changing here is just the threshold. So hear that super bright hi-hat. Here's that. Here's before. Now, remember, we have two different modes here, fast attack, slow attack. Let's try fast attack to capture that hi-hat. It's super transparent. It's taken away the harshness, but it keeps the highs there. So they've mastered this approach. Super dope. Let's try a different sample here. So I can see anybody using Suno to generate samples. This is a perfect tool for you.
I just wanna love you, wanna above you. You're the apple of my eye, like a diamond in the sky.
All right, now that would be a perfect spot. Let me see if I can find that.
You're the apple of my eye.
Now listen to him say sky, because that's exactly where the frequencies normally would build up.
Like a diamond in the sky.
The sky. It starts to get telephony.
Like a diamond in the sky.
It's sky, and it hits that like telephone resonance. So this is what's helping it.
Like a diamond in the sky.
And you can barely tell. If I didn't tell you guys I put something on this, you probably wouldn't know.
Like a diamond in the sky. Like a diamond in the sky.
I think they have figured out the auto-tune of mixing. Highfoul is the auto-tune of mixing. Schwab Digital did a crazy job on this. Let's see what else we have here. All right, so this one is more ethereal sounding. Now again, I picked random samples, so not every sample has a super harsh sound to it. Like right there, that was a perfect example of that. See that super bitey area? Let's see if we could target that. So it seems to be around like 6 to 7K. Let's pull that threshold down. Give it a fast attack. Let's eyeball what we're... I just noticed this has a mid side and a left right input. So one of the tracks I had was like imbalanced, and I should have used the mid side mode. I'm curious to see what that sounds like too. So here's before. Here's after. It doesn't make it sound metallic. Like it gets rid of that metallic quality of AI samples. So again, listen to the metallic sound here. It just sounds thin and metallic. And then here's after. It doesn't sound thin anymore. It doesn't sound metallic, but it sounds like that frequency should be in the actual sample. So very subtle detail there, but it's the detail that separates AI generations from sounding realistic, in my opinion. Also density, which they have a plugin for density called Gold Clip. So that's fun. So let's compare this with Gold Clip just to see what that would sound like. So let's add a little more density in here.
Girl, I wanna love you.
Now we didn't do a crazy amount of density, but
Ain't no one above you. You're the apple of my eye.
So just these two. So here's without. Very bright sound here. Only thing that sounds fake is that hi-hat. It goes. To explain this, hi-hats are made of basically white noise when you create a digital hi-hat. But what makes it sound more like a hi-hat is when you create a specific resonance. So basically, instead of tss, you're hearing like a tone. And what the AI hasn't truly mastered yet is how to shape that noise of the high end into more of a tonal sound. So it leaves the tss part of the hi-hat, and it's too noisy to sound realistic. So that's part of the flaw of AI. So anyway, we're gonna add Highfoul. Get rid of some of that.
Girl, I wanna love you. Ain't no one above you. You're the apple of my eye. Like a diamond in the sky. Girl, you are the one for me. Forever and eternity.
All right, so let's do before. Here's before. All right, now let's turn
Girl,
it
I
on.
wanna love you.
Now here's with it on.
Ain't no one above you. You're the apple of my eye. Like a diamond in the sky. Girl, you are the one for me.
Now, personally, if I want to make my AI sample sound real, I would combine this with MD4, which MixBusTV put me onto, and just an EQ of some sort to boost the lows. Usually the lows are kind of tame because they don't want to go too crazy with the lows. So for this one, I'll boost the lows at about 60 hertz is my favorite area, or 75 hertz. Just to add a little density and or a little weight, I'll say. And then this mid-side compressor does a nice job of just the final touch of density. Because you can put it in parallel.
Girl, I wanna love you. Ain't no one above you.
So let's turn this on and off. All right, let's wait for the drop. Here's
Girl,
off.
I wanna love you.
Here's before.
Ain't no one above you.
Here's after.
You're the apple of my eye. Like a diamond in the sky. Girl, you are the one for me. Forever and eternity. I just wanna love you. Like a diamond in the sky.
All right, let's run it. Here's before.
Girl, you are the one for me.
Here's after.
Forever and
I still feel like we could pull down a little more of that zone. So let's see.
girl, you forever and eternity. Girl,
All right, here's before.
girl, you are the one for me. Forever and
All right, now here's after.
girl, you are the one for me. Forever and eternity. I just want
Schwab Digital solved the problem right at the perfect time. This Highfoul plugin has a 30-day free trial on it. So guys, go try it out. I'll leave a link below. Shout out to MixBusTV for putting this on my radar. This plugin is super, super needed with the AI sample wave. All right, guys, subscribe if you're new. Peace.